Now, given that a lot of Lucasfilm creatives and employees right now are either getting replaced or getting fired by, of course, Disney and Bob Iger, the CEO, and authorizing John and Dave to really right-pick exactly who's going to come in and replace the existing employees over at Lucasfilm, this is all a matter of refacing the company and really cleaning up house, because they are on a 2-year journey to really reinventing Lucasfilm and how it operates as a company. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, with The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 20 now officially out on Disney+, I would love to hear what you guys had to say about that episode. We did get a couple of surprises here and there, nothing too over the top, but everything related to John and Dave is that now a lot of fans are focusing on what the last half of The Mandalorian Season 3 will hold, and fans are already preparing for the Ahsoka Tano series. However, when it comes to Lucasfilm themselves, they recently made a very big ultimate decision that may very well anger a lot of fans, that may frustrate a lot of the community, and it all has a lot to do with the roadmap of the Star Wars franchise, so let's get right into all of this. Now, we know that Star Wars Celebration of 2023 is an important one, which is exactly why this comes across as a bit of a disappointment when it comes to Disney executives and, Lucasfilm creatives making this call and really trying to find a way to properly market the roadmap of the franchise in the most valuable way that's going to benefit and serve them properly. So anyways, with that being put out there and said, with Lucasfilm changing many different plans for the Star Wars franchise and for what's up and coming, they recently made a big change that may anger the fans around the globe. Just recently, Lucasfilm made the ultimate call to not announce some projects at Star Wars Celebration at 2023 this April, and are delaying many of those announcements until the end of this year instead, and are gearing up to creating a completely separate event that will announce more Star Wars films and TV shows. This comes just after Disney started to right-size their roadmap, and what projects will be made and also problems arising with the Lando series has already shifted the entire schedule like a domino effect. Part of this also has to do with the recent cancellations of Star Wars movies that Bob Iger initiated that he's replacing with other films. He is also in the process of approving new movies to be added to the roadmap that will be finalized by this June. Now, Lucasfilm is fully aware that this is going to frustrate many fans and that they are embracing all of this. With fewer announcements now slated for Celebration 23, fans will need to wait many more months until they get a majority of announcements by Lucasfilm for their upcoming slate of Star Wars projects. Now, I don't know about you guys, but by them delaying a lot of Star Wars show announcements at this year's Celebration, I think it's a bad move. I think, if anything, you want to pull the trigger right now to boost up the hype for the fans and to really get fans, very much engaged with everything that's up and coming. So basically right now, Celebration is becoming more of a small-scale announcement, and basically what they are going to be focusing on are things like the Ahsoka Tano series, right? They're going to be focusing on things such as, for example, Skeleton Crew, The Acolyte, basically a lot of shows that are very much almost complete and getting closer to really getting released, and focusing on just a couple, maybe like 2 projects that are brand new, as opposed to the apparent, of course, before 10 projects that they wanted to announce, where it was going to be a full screen, where you were going to have Bob Iger and John and Dave presenting a huge roadmap and a timeline of where all these shows would be taking place, when they would be releasing, stuff like that. So basically now that's all shifting to be released until later this year, most likely D23. It's looking more likely to be that, or at the worst case scenario, it could very well be during the November earnings call. Now, do note that they are creating a separate event from both D23 and Celebration to announce other projects. So I think the reason why a lot of fans are going to have issues with this is that not only people attending Celebration are getting far less than what they are paying for, but also a lot of fans that want to actually watch Celebration, they're not even streaming this, by the way. This is all going to be privated. You're not going to be able to watch this like it's an event, and that's, apparently being dwindled down or completely limited this year. So anyways, with that being, of course, put out there, this is also in relation to Kathleen Kennedy's The Acolyte series getting yet another delay that has created another domino effect on other release dates of upcoming Star Wars shows in the works. It's something that Disney has been panicking about for the past month or so now, and are getting very defensive over this series by starting reshoots and rewrites for the show. Disney is described to be now making Celebration have far fewer TV show announcements. This also comes from Bob Iger trying to also cancel some unnecessary shows, and that the Lando series is facing trouble and a potential cancellation right now. I don't know about you guys, but I have not really seen the most anticipation for the Lando series. Not saying that, Lando's a terrible character, I'm just saying that we've never really seen a lot of hype for that show, and it's been stagnant mostly because of Donald Glover being so busy with his other projects out there not related to Star Wars. And not just that, there's been a lot of production issues with the Lando show. Now, keep in mind that that was initially a Kathleen Kennedy greenlit project. I would not be surprised if this does end up getting cancelled, but I digress. All these changes are creating a domino effect, a ripple effect, if you will, that's really lengthening the structure of the roadmap. And that's also having a big impact on what they are able to announce at this year's Celebration and what they are not able to announce. So basically what it all sums up to is that we are getting very few announcements at this year's Celebration event, cutting down by 60 to 70% of announcements and saving those for the very tail end of 2023. And that, I think, just kind of may very well temporarily break the momentum or the hype for fans, because a lot of fans were looking forward to a lot of announcements to be unveiled and a lot of, big surprises to be unveiled, which, by the way, there will still be some, but nothing related to all of the other projects in the works. Now, given that John and Dave are still going to have very special things to say at Celebration, a lot of fans, without a doubt, are going to be very let down about this. We know that Bob Iger is doing his best, and I've said this many times, I've never been a fan of Bob Iger, I don't really support him, but I do give him credit because this is a guy that's allowing John and Dave to do whatever's necessary to really bring Star Wars back to the way that it used to be. He's letting them do whatever they have to do to make things work. So I gotta give him credit for that, I really do. At the very minimum, I gotta give Bob Iger credit for allowing a lot of that to actually happen. So anyways, with that being all put out there and said, fill me in below in the comments what you guys have to say about all of this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I'll catch you guys next time, and see you later.
Night to moon, we hear